Tasting wine near me, yes, and me is Filippo Bartolotta, bringing Italian wines to you guys. Today we're tasting a wine with an incredible history that goes all the way back to 1200 years. There's documents that are talking about the wines of Carmignano 1200 years ago. And we are where? We are in the northern side of Florence. We are near Prato, in the hills of Carmignano. Carmignano is a small, tiny appellation that actually the Medici family realized that was one of the greatest little wine appellations that Tuscany had. So already from 1716, this is when the appellation was officially put together by Cosimo de' Medici. But that's not the only bit of interesting history when it comes to Capezzana. Today, the family, the Contini Buonaccosti, have been taking great care of this beautiful farm, releasing some of the greatest extra virgin olive oil. So this is a little tip for you. If you love extra virgin olive oil, how can you not love that incredible product? The Capezzana winery produces one of the best in Tuscany. Also, their Vinsanto is awesome. But here we have a wine that is called Trefiano. 2015 Riserva. 2015 was a very hot vintage, so I'm expecting something pretty bold. What is the varieties? The varieties that are in here are mainly Sangiovese, like most Tuscan wines. The backbone of any Tuscan wine is Sangiovese. This very kind of a temperamental, relatively acidic and tannic variety with lots of red-driven fruit and very transparent. Now, you might have heard of Super Tuscans. Super Tuscans are is like one of the revolutions of the 20th century. I'll talk about this in another session, but what makes Super Tuscans so? The presence of international varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon. People say the Cabernet Sauvignon is transplanted in Tuscany. Some people say like in the 60s and 70s. Wrong. It was there already in the 17th century. Like in the 1600s, there's documents talking about this uva francescana. Francescana from France. And that was Cabernet Sauvignon. So Carmignano is the first appellation, possibly in the whole of Italy, where Cabernet Sauvignon was officially part of the blend many hundreds of years ago. In this case, we have roughly 15 to 20% of Cab Sauv. So, together with Sangiovese, you should see more color, less transparency, more tannic structure, and a little bit of some kind of like black currants, blueberries, and menthol. I just cracked open the bottle, so let's check it out together. Yes, the color, you can tell that this is not just Sangiovese. And you have this very Tuscan nose. Whenever I get together the black cherries, the leather, a little bit of cypress wood. Oh man, some, you know, like when you walk into an old church and you have this incense, that's what it is. And I really like this. I feel like and there is a orange peel. Just could stay in this wine for a few minutes alone, just with the nose. Beautiful. Blueberries. Actually, blackberries, wild blackberries. That's what it is, for sure. Definite. That's what it is. Blackberry. Bye-bye. I'm kidding. I'm back here with you. Let's try the wines on the mouth. Maybe you saw me drinking a little bit of this, not spitting everything out, because it was enticing. The sweetness of this wine is phenomenal. So do you see this is sweet wine? Not at all. Don't get me wrong. is the natural sweetness of the fruit. It's like the prunes, the black cherries that comes through my mouth. And there was this infiltrating presence of tannins that are not dry at all. There is structure, there is power, but there is also lots of elegance. Do you know what I'm thinking here? I think this is a great wine to be sit by a fireplace by itself, but if you have some aged cheese, that will be perfect. What else? Some beautiful stew, or even a Sunday roast. This wine was just gonna be like so happy. But I was gonna say something important: ageability. We haven't talked too much about ageability. How can you assess whether a wine is gonna be able to age for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 50 years, 70 years? Well, not easy. Not easy to guess, but if you taste wines professionally, there's a few factors that will let you know. For a start is the acidity, whether the wine is kind of alive and not just flabby. Number 2 is the structure. Does the wine have enough structure like polyphenols, antioxidants like tannins to survive time? Yes, this does both of them. Is there good enough fruit to carry on forever? Yes, there is. What else? Experience. Sorry, it was number 4. Experience. I have been tasting this stuff from Capezzana particularly, all the way back to the 70s and even older. And these wines, because of the origin, the terroir, the place where the vineyards are located and how the wines are made, so it's very small production in the vineyard. You know how much a vine can give you up to 25 kilograms of grapes? Or you can make one. So one vine, one bottle. And that's how you can make wines that can age forever. So if you buy this wine, think about it. Think about maybe buy 2 bottles, 6 bottles. You crack open a bottle now, 1 in 2, 3 years, and then just hide 1 or 2 for your kids or your nephew even. By the way, guys, thank you very much once again for following me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Put down your comments. Let me know if you want me to taste more wines with you. And otherwise, you can find me in the social medias, anywhere you want. Cheers from Carmignano. I'm just going to have some lunch with Cosimo de' Medici.